Hello, Bella Beauties and Bella Bows, and welcome back to my channel, Bella Blaque TV. I'm Bella Blaque, and we have another great day today. We have Christopher. Let's welcome to the stage, Christopher. Hi, Christopher. How are you?
Pretty good. How are you?
I'm well. Can't complain. All right, we'll go ahead and jump right into it. If you can tell the viewers where you're located and your age.
Yeah, in Atlanta. I'm 37 years old.
All right. All right. So, what is your occupation and for how long?
I own a car dealership. I've owned it for about 5 years now, and I recently founded a company called the Rich Neighbors, where we teach our culture how to weaponize credit to try to kickstart their businesses or their business ideas. It's kind of a coalition of entrepreneurs that kind of someone tells us what they want. Our virtual assistant guides them in the direction that they need to go.
All right. So I'm pretty sure that's something that you want to do long term because I know you said you own the car lot and that the organization is something that you founded as well. So those are long term goals, correct?
Mhm.
All
Yeah, it is.
right.
The plan is to automate the dealership so that I can focus more on the rich neighbors. That's my baby.
All right. So you already have that going to where you're going to automate it. You already have that in motion,
Oh, for
or is
sure.
it something long term? Long. Okay.
Um,
All right.
yeah, it's,
Mhm.
it's kind of set up both ways right now. So,
Okay. All right. So what are some of your hobbies?
uh, sports. I'm real big into football. I work a lot, so when I do get time, I work a lot. So when I do get time to actually wind down, a hike, something out of town. Got to get out of Atlanta. Um, I try to do something active, something fun where I don't have to think. So
Right. Because you definitely want to make sure you take that time to yourself because, just got to get that, make sure your mental is all together. And when you're just working, 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 you're not taking the time to take care of yourself.
yeah, it's a lot of thinking. It's a lot of thinking involved.
Right.
So when I'm able to shut my brain down for a second and actually take some time to myself, I can appreciate it. So definitely, like all my hobby is just doing anything that's not work. Let's just say that.
Okay. I don't blame you. All right. So, have you ever been married? And if so, what is your current or marital status? Whether it's never married, divorced, separated, and estranged, or widowed, what is your current marital status?
I've never been married.
Never been married. All right. Okay. So, do
Mhm.
you have children? And if so, how many? And what are their ages? And do you desire to have more?
I've got two sons. They're 10 years old, Landon, and 2 years old, Mason. And I'm satisfied either way. I wouldn't mind having more kids, but I also am satisfied of those are the only two I've got. There, my kids are awesome. So
Okay. All right. So, is it okay if your future partner have children, and does it matter how many they have and the ages of their children?
um, it doesn't matter. I would like to say that I would prefer someone that has kids. There's certain lessons in life that you don't necessarily know or understand if you don't have kids, but I'm not gonna eliminate anyone who doesn't have kids because they may also understand. So I think it's more so understanding that I'm looking for of the situation with children.
Okay. What is one negative trait about yourself that you took from your last relationship that you have worked on, are working on, or will work on? And why do you feel it's a negative trait?
A negative trait that I took from my last relationship that I've worked on.
Hmm.
Um, Being receptive to, like, in my last relationship or in past relationships, with what I do, I've had to take
Hmm.
on other people's problems every day, all day. Um, and sometimes, or a lot of times, by the time I get home, I don't have the capacity to, listen to my partner's problems throughout their day. I just like just shut down. So taking that and learning from past relationships, I definitely am more deliberate in being attentive, and being receptive of what they're going through throughout their day. Um, I think that's a big one. I'm open, like you're a different person with anyone that you date. You're not gonna be the same person with this person as you are with that one. But that's something that within myself I had to work
Mhm.
on. So
Right.
yeah,
Because
just
if you deplete yourself while you're at work, you're not able to pour into your partner when she gets home. So that's good that you
true,
recognize that and you did something to
true.
try to, overcome it. That's good.
You know, I had to give work less control. That's it.
Yeah. All right.
That's it.
All right. So, how do you handle or deal with conflict, specifically in a relationship?
Again, it's you're different based on who you are in a relationship with.
Hmm.
If my partner is the type of person, no one lets everything go. But if my partner is the type of person that if there's conflict, they won't speak up for themselves, then I have to be the person in the conflict to say, you know what, let me meet them a little bit farther on their playing field. If they're the boisterous type and they're going to voice every single thing that they have a problem with, then sometimes I will take the back seat and just be quiet and listen. Or when I have a problem, is I'll remove myself long enough for the situation to diffuse before we have the conversation. So it's really based on who I'm dealing with. But if it was me and it was my choice as to the way the situation will be resolved, at the point that we have conflict, we're both going to say that we have conflict. And then depending on what that conflict is and judging the conversation that will be had following, we would either handle it immediately or separate until we're able to handle it calmly. Like, but to be quite honest, with the amount of time that I'm able to spend with a partner, we really don't have time to be arguing in the first place. So
Right, but it's arguing correct. But sometimes you are going to have those disagreements because at the end of the day, you all have are two different individuals with two different sometimes viewpoints, and just being able to get through those difficult or challenging times is important. So I know you said that you would adapt to your partner's pretty much conflict resolution style, but does that mean always getting the issue resolved? Or they might be a person that just like, hey, I don't want to argue. We just gonna just squash it. I don't want to talk about it, and then it just never gets resolved. Or like, how does that work? Is does it get resolved eventually?
no, I feel like the situation always has to get resolved. You kind of learn the point of a relationship is you don't run away. In a relationship, the point is to want to stay and put in the work to stay. So you figure out how to how to love the person that you're in a relationship with. Sometimes you might need to say something immediately. Sometimes you might have to put your foot down. Sometimes you got to take the back seat and let them show you the way that they. Every situation, every like I said, it depends on what that disagreement was, whether or not I'm able to just bite my tongue, like whether or not we stop at Chick-fil-A because I wanted Chick-fil-A, where I'm able to just brush that under the rug and it never happened, or how we what we do for family day or how we deal with the kids. So that's a more pressing topic, a more serious conversation. So it really depends on the conversation itself. Like I would need to know the specifics, but yeah, I feel like all conflicts, if you're gonna make it last, you gotta resolve every conflict that you possibly can. Because with conflict resolution, you're learning the person.
Hmm.
So if we're spending the time or taking the time to actually figure out how to resolve the conflict and actually
Hmm.
trying, it's not the blame game or somebody's fault, then you learning each other and preventing it from happening again. So I don't want if I get in an argument with my significant other, I don't want that argument to happen again. I don't. So I
Right,
probably
right.
started the argument with, I probably started the conversation with, "Hey, look, man, I got a problem with this, and I don't want it to come up again. So, what we doing?" But yeah, it's
Yeah, I was getting it resolved
yeah,
rather than in the moment or rather that's a little later, as long as it gets resolved.
mhm.
All right. Okay, so is religion or spirituality important to you? And if so, what do you believe in and or practice? And is it important to you that your mate practice or follow those same beliefs?
um, religion is religion is we all have to leave this place. We all got to go somewhere. So um, I'm extremely religious. I'm in church every opportunity that I can be. I don't miss a Sunday. Um, Even if I have to watch it online, I do. Men of Impact. My church is Impact Church here in Atlanta. Men of Impact. The men of the church. We have Bible study Tuesday. Church's Bible studies Thursday. I'm non-denominational. I don't feel like any religion is particularly wrong. Um, I do ask that my partner is religious, whether or not they have the same beliefs as I do. It's neither here nor there because the only way that, again, like God is love. So I feel as though as long as we love each other the way that God has loved us, we can't sin in the first place. So if I love my partner or the next person the way that God has loved me through my life, we're fine. And as long as that's the principal understanding of whatever their beliefs are, I think we'll get along just fine.
All right. Do you believe in therapy and why or why not?
Uh, I didn't used to believe in therapy. After my last relationship, yeah, I felt like therapy, like you should go through therapy in a relationship, even if the relationship is going well. Like I feel like that's just something like no matter who you tell, they're gonna take a side. A therapist is impartial. Like they don't they're unbiased, should I say. So whether you're speaking to the same therapist or you're speaking to a therapist individually during a relationship, you change. As you go through experiences, you become different. So therapy kind of keeps you balanced and in line with the direction that you're going. It keeps you from lingering on situations that have bothered you too long. I wish I believed that in a couple of my past relationships, but you live and you learn. So I do, to answer the question, I do think therapy is necessary, both when you're going through conflicts and when stuff is going good.
All right. So you believe in therapy on a couples level, but you also believe in therapy individually um, to work on yourself as
I
an
do.
individual.
I do.
Okay. All right. Do you believe in gender roles? And if so, what do you believe is the man's role in a marriage or long term relationship? And what is the woman's role in a
Mhm.
marriage or long term relationship?
Gender roles. Oh, that's tough. So I'm not gonna speak on genders. I'm gonna speak on myself. Um,
Okay.
I am a man. I'm a man's man. I sell cars, but my hands don't look like that from selling them. I fix things. I can build a house. I can tear it down. Fix cars. There's the role that I play is Bob the Builder. Something's broken, I'm gonna fix it, but I'm also gonna go out and if my brain, if I'm not able to do the thing that I want to do, the question is always asked like, what are you? If you couldn't do the thing you wanted to do, are you lost everything? What are you gonna revert to in order to get it all back? These hands. I'm gonna use my hands. So traditionally, I take the role of what a traditional man would be. My intention is to provide. I work as hard as I do so I can spoil my kids and my significant other. Um, I do expect a woman that can be a nurturer, but that definition is not definitive. like it's broad because their nurturing might not be the child, it might be me. I do ask that, like, if I'm providing, if I've got to provide, I would expect you to meet me with the missing puzzle pieces. So if I'm gonna work all day, I got playtime with the kids. I've got to fix everything. I would. What are you gonna do? Like I want you to do the other things. Um, that said, I'm not opposed to a CEO or someone who runs their own business because at the end of the day, if we've got to hire maids, I mean, I use a maid now. If we got to hire maids and chefs, that's just what we got to do. But yeah, as far as roles, I take the role of a traditional man. That doesn't mean that I need somebody to be a stay-at-home mom and cook and clean and pick up after me and push out babies. So again, it just depends on who I'm in a relationship with. That role transforms based on how they how they how they feel the needs of the relationship.
All right. What are those physical features or aesthetics that you consider to be attractive?
Physical characteristics. So doesn't matter how a woman has her hair as long as it's not crazy. Um, my mom has done hair longer than I've been alive, so it's can't bring somebody around my mama that their hair look crazy. But um, her hair isn't hair. Your hair just got to be done. That's it. As far as physical characteristics, I do so like so. I want to deal with someone that um, takes physical fitness into consideration or it's on the forefront of their mind. I have a gym and we work out all the time. HBX Fitness is a lifestyle, not just a gym, it's a culture. Like we do every Sunday, I told you I have a routine for Sunday. So every Sunday, there's church, gym, eat. We do something called Sunday service. It's a hit workout. I do work out a lot. I run every Wednesday with Built to Last Run Club. Um, so it's as long as they're willing to be into
Mhm.
fitness, if they're not already, um, I do want someone fit physically. I'm not too high or too low on anything I do. Care about whether or not you're easy on the eyes and the face. So, but with women, you know, you all are able to y'all switch looks up. You can you can look like a different person every day of the week. So it's like physical characteristics. The one thing that the one thing that like gets me every single time is the eyes.
Mhm.
It gets me. So that's one thing I
They say the eyes is the I guess the air nose into the soul.
yeah, the windows to the soul. And it's yeah, sometimes the girl just got those eyes that like it's hard for you to look at her in them because it look like she's looking through you. That gets me every time. But yeah, everything else is subjective. Like is some stuff
I
you
know
like,
that
some stuff you don't.
I know that you said that fitness is really big to you. So does it matter how often she works out or is active, or as long as she's active?
I'm just active. Like it doesn't matter how long she works out or if she works out. There's different. Some people don't have to work out to be fit, but more so, more so willingness to work out. If I say, "Hey, I'm going on a hike," or if I say, "Hey, do you want to go to the run club this weekend?" Do you want to go run this 10K or this 5K? Like stuff like that. That is something that's something that I take into consideration for sure. Like that matters to me. I don't want to say, hey, I'm going for a run. And then you're like, oh, okay, every single time when you just in the house, just laid up with a bowl of popcorn. So that matters.
All right. Okay. So I believe my purpose in life is to what? What is your purpose in life? What do you feel is your purpose in life?
Um, I feel like I'm being shown that I have a knack for galvanizing people to get everybody on the same page and moving in the same direction. Um, I feel like my purpose is to do that in a way that helps people in the long run, like it leaves something behind is bigger than me or bigger than us. I feel like that's been my purpose. It's just now I'm just now getting to the point where I'm starting to realize it and move in my purpose.
All right. All right. Good deal. What is one unique thing about yourself that most people don't know? Just by looking at you, they'll never be able to guess this thing about you. What is that one unique thing about
One thing about me
you? Mm-hmm.
that most people wouldn't guess by looking at me.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of people don't know that I'm a nerd until I open my mouth. They think I'm just an athlete. They have no idea until I start talking. So I would say that. Um, yeah, for sure that.
All right. Okay, so what are your relationship status goals, whether that's marriage, long term relationship, companionship only, and why now?
Uh, I'm looking for marriage. Uh, you know how they say when like young men do child like when you become a man, you put away childish things. When you're young, you focus on tail chasing and having fun and experiences with different people. It's I'm at the point now, especially where I'm going in life and in business. Um, like I've been in committed relationships, and the focus wasn't just the relationship. It was what you're doing with your business and what I'm doing with mine. I want a marriage where our business is the focus. So the things going on in my business are a focal point of your day and vice versa. I don't just want a long-term relationship that goes nowhere. I say to my friends, I don't even have friends who aren't married or who aren't dating for marriage. I kind of stopped hanging with the friends who live in the single life and don't have any aspirations to leave it. It's a certain level of respect that's put forward in a business conversation for someone who is married and is faithful in their marriage or their marriage shows on them. So I aspire for that type of relationship.
All right, so you're intentional in your dating and you feel like you are able to be that leader that you need to be for your wife and for your family.
Oh, for sure.
Mhm. All right. Okay, so what are your love languages that you'd like for your partner to provide to you? And what does that look like? Listed in the order of importance. Are you familiar with the love languages?
It's following, correct?
Yes. If you don't know them, I'll
I'm
let you know. I can tell you
somewhat
what they are.
yeah, I'm somewhat familiar.
Okay.
So you said what love languages do I expect
That
from
you would
my
like for your
partner?
partner to provide to you and listen in the order of importance. And let us know what that looks like.
Um, the two that I accept all of them. Like however you show me that you love me, I'm fine with. Like it's not. I'm not gonna not receive your love because you felt like touching me and I wanted you to talk to me. The ones that I would prefer, uh, words of affirmation. Um, Sometimes, as I stated earlier, uh, I go out in the world and I have to take on so much. Like my clients will call me at 11 o'clock with car issues. Um, they built out a rental fleet and they're struggling with finding renters for the cars. Like I have to be a car salesman and a mentor. I do a lot with this business. So um, with so many questions that get answered throughout the day, a lot of times I will doubt.
Are you still there, Chris? Was it like you're frozen? Chris?
Okay, it's on
All
DNB.
right, we have Chris back. All right, so were you still talking? You were in the middle of your statement.
Yeah,
With
so
the
I was saying that I was saying that I appreciate words of affirmation because sometimes with what I'm dealing with work, it will cause me to doubt my path. And sometimes hearing somebody tell me like, "Oh, babe, you got this. Like, you got it. Keep going. Good job." Like that's that extra added push to keep me going. So it does feel good when somebody does that, or when they verbally recognize something that I've done. Um, and another one would probably be physical touch. Like nothing beats a hug from somebody that you care about. So especially when I'm gone, like that takes the edge off when I'm able to walk in the house and just scoop you up. Now everything that happened outside the door is it don't matter no more. So I would say those two are probably if I had to pick two, those would be the two. But again, the way that I'm receptive regardless of the way that my partner shows me love.
all right, good deal. Okay, what does the term emotional intelligence mean to you? And do you think you provide this in a relationship? And if so, how? Are you familiar with the term emotional intelligence?
Yeah, so
Okay.
emotional intelligence to me, emotional intelligence is paying attention to how the things you do affect the person that you love, or the person in that relationship, whether it's friendship or an actual relationship. Um, Sometimes the stuff we say, the stuff we do, facial expressions we make, they affect the other person. You want to affect them in a positive way. Uh, in a relationship, I feel like I provide. Everybody misses cues. I know I miss the cues sometimes, but I feel like overall, I do provide emotional intelligence. I do pay attention to how the things that I say and what I do affect the other person, and it actually affects me. So if I'm doing something that affects them in a negative way, it's going to affect me in a negative way because I don't want them to feel that way. So I want to feel good in a relationship. So my objective is to make sure that they feel good also.
All right. Good deal. Okay. So, what are some obstacles you've encountered while trying to date?
Oh Lord, time, time,
Time. Yeah.
like time,
All right. So,
time.
with you
So
intentionally dating, how are you going to make that time? What are you going to do in order to make time for that partner and nourish their relationship so it can turn into something long term?
uh, I'm gonna petition for 36 hours in a day. But um, truthfully, it's creating a schedule. So I've had to create a schedule so that I can make sure that I have free time. A lot goes on in my day. There's a lot of times where I will say that I'm going to be at the basketball court at 5 o'clock, and I get a customer call at 4:30, and at 5 o'clock I miss the entire session because I'm not done until 7. So scheduling, making sure that I plan ahead and make sure that this time, no matter what, can be set aside. That's the probably the biggest obstacle, but it's the easiest one to have fixed.
All right, good deal. So this next question pretty much coincides with the last question. So the question is, what do you believe has been the biggest challenge or impact that has affected dating as we see it today? Not particularly in your particular situation, but just dating overall. What has been the biggest impact or challenge that has affected dating as we see it today?
Uh, I was in a committed relationship for a while, so I think that the biggest challenge was um, allowing myself to let someone back under my skin. I think that was probably the biggest thing. Like I had been off the saddle for so long that finally saying, you know what, now I want to see what's out there. I think that's like that was that was my biggest struggle with getting back outside, so to say.
Okay, no, like for instance, overall, like the people that are in a dating pool right now, of course, a lot of people say that they're, it's just crazy right now with dating. So, what do you feel have been those factors, challenges that have impacted dating overall? Not your particular situation, but just dating overall. Um, those things that has impacted it. What do you believe the issues are?
Oh, that have impacted dating for everyone.
Hmm.
I think that getting past the persona that's put forth when you first meet somebody. I think that every when people first meet, yeah, the representative. Oh man, I keep playing that term, but yeah, you meet their representative. So I think that a lot of times you have to peel back the layers. And you got to be willing to. You have to be receptive or be willing to receive what's under the layers. So I think a lot of what's impacted dating is this fast paced speed dating phase that people go through. Now, everything's like Tinder. You swipe right or swipe left. I met you. I need to meet your mama tomorrow. And oh, it didn't work out. I'm on to the next. I think people don't take the time. You're going to go through stuff. You're going to go through ups and downs. And just because you didn't like the thing doesn't mean you dislike the person. So people chew them up and spit them out. Like it's very possible to go through a whole nother person every week. So I feel like people need to slow down. Like they need to slow down.
All right.
Yeah,
All right. Do you believe in monogamy and do you practice
I believe in monogamy and I practice. I just had this conversation today.
it?
I believe in monogamy. I'm probably one of the last couple people that feels like monogamy is not dead. Um, Again, like I said, it's I sit in a lot of conferences, coaching calls, business meetings, even at church. When you're having a conversation with somebody, and when people are in a happy marriage or in a happy relationship, the impact of their partner on their lives it shows. It shows. You can hear it talking to them. You can see it speaking to them. You can see it when they're dealing with their person or their family. In business, a lot of the way that I deal with people in business is based on that. I kind of can't trust you if your partner can't either. Um, and yes, people have polygamous relationships where there's trust, but that trust isn't, in my opinion, it's not as strong. It's not built properly. Like that goes into the pot of meaning something to everybody, and it goes to mean everything to someone. So, in a nutshell, yes, I believe monogamy is the way to go. I practice monogamy. I don't want to be in a relationship with someone who feels like polygamy is the answer, or bringing someone else into the relationship is the proper answer. It's not the right avenue, at least not for me.
All right. So, what are absolute deal breakers that you will not tolerate when choosing a partner? And it's like, oh no, I'm not dealing with that.
Mm. Someone that's too easily accessible. Been there before, done that. Doesn't end well. Like some people call it being too friendly. I'm not. I don't have a problem with you being gregarious or outspoken. Um, Congenial is fine, but too accessible. Um, I did a there was like a social experiment on how many times does a pretty woman, get hollered at in a day. Long story short, I do not expect you to turn someone down or not have a conversation 1,100 times a year. Um, but I would expect or hope that you show respect to our relationship or what we have. And being too friendly or being too accessible opens the door for the next step, and then the next step, and the next step, which leads to polygamy or not a monogamous relationship. So that bothers me. That's the deal breaker. Um, Seeing like going out and seeing her run up and hug her male best friend, like that stuff like that. Another one would probably be disrespect. Um, like there's instances where you have to choose your words. Not choosing your words properly, belittling someone, whether it's myself or someone I care about, or even someone you care about. If I'm dating a woman and I see her or hear her belittling her friends or family members or just anyone, like I don't disrespect anyone with my words. I would hope that my partner wouldn't do that either. That is big to me.
All right. Going back to the first thing that you said accessible. Can you just expound on that a little when you say accessible? Um, from when you were talking, it seemed like you saying accessible to, I guess, the men or men that she might be close to
It's
or
not
no.
just
Like, what do you mean by
no,
accessible?
it's not just uh men, yes. Um, I mean, I'm the type of person I don't even want to see my shoes on someone else's feet. So I don't want to see I wrap all of my cars because I don't want to see someone else driving the same thing. I don't want to feel like every man has access to my woman to have the conversations that I'm having with her. Um, to be able to make her feel good in the ways that I'm able to make her feel good, even with compliments, things like that. Like it's every compliment doesn't need to lead to a conversation. Um, there are instances where you're handling business, so you have to be gregarious. You have to talk to people and mingle with people. It's not what I'm talking about. Um, but a million dudes have your phone number to text you any old thing. There's no limits or barriers put up as to what is or isn't appropriate. Have a problem with that. That is a red flag to me. I deal a lot in business, and no matter who you tell, they take a side, and men don't talk, they act. So in business, feeling as though I've got to look over my shoulder may affect how I'm able to move in a room, um, as well as it may affect how people deal with me. So you kind of want to feel like your partner, that you're secure in your partner.
Okay, got it. All right. So, what do you feel it takes for someone to be a great mate to you and for you to be a great mate to someone?
What do I feel like it takes for them to be a great mate to me? Um,
Hmm.
who's being open? To be a great mate to me, like I'm needs change, wants change, and me understanding that, I don't expect my partners to be the same person from day one to close. Um, I've kind of learned that from the past, so it's more so take care of me and I'll take care of you. Um, and it was a two-sided question, correct? It was what does it take for someone to be a good partner to me, and what was the
Hmm.
other part of that question?
And for you to be a great partner to someone like this.
Uh, being receptive, taking the time, being intentional. On my part, like it would be easy to get lost in transition with everything that I have going on a daily basis. So, from my part, from my end, just making sure that I'm paying attention. I am a gentleman by nature, so the other things outside of that, just making sure I take the time, that I spend time, making sure that I'm listening and not just doing and stuff like that.
All right. Okay, good deal. So, what is your dating age range?
28 and up.
Okay, so what is up? How far is up?
um, I don't know. I've never really thought about that. I've always had a limit on how far I was willing to date beneath my age,
Mhm.
but yeah, I've never really. I don't know. I don't know if I could date an 80
Like
year old,
realistically, like
but
what do you think? What age group do you think is compatible with you and where you are right now, and what you see going forward?
uh, I don't know. It'd have to be at an age group that it have to be an age that is still there's still stuff to move toward in life. Like can't be planning retirement. Um, like yeah, I don't know, mid 40s.
About 45. Okay.
Hmm.
All right. And the next question is, what is your dating location preference? An example, internationally, locally within your current state, surrounding states, anywhere in the USA. And the second part to that question is, do you have a passport or are you willing and able to obtain
Could you repeat that second part?
one? The second part
Oh,
is,
you said, do I have a passport?
and or are you willing
Oh,
to, are you able and willing to get one if you don't have
I
one?
do have a passport. Um, I like having access to my person. So don't know if I'm necessarily if I've been necessarily willing to date someone who is far away. Um, sometimes a phone call just isn't enough. But yeah, I do have a passport. Um, I have a passport for a while, been in a lot of places. But yeah, that first question, not just saying that when I started dating that I wanted them to be in Atlanta, but someone in Australia, nah.
So I know you said you don't want them too far. So too
Mhm.
far. So would you want them like in Georgia, Mississippi, anywhere close to Georgia? Um, or is it anywhere in the USA? I know you don't really necessarily want to go internationally, but is anywhere within the United States okay? Or just pretty much just those surrounding areas, or somewhere to where you can drive to them within a certain amount of
Um, yeah, it's just the distance thing.
time? Hmm.
So I would want to be able to accessible, a quick flight, a short drive, things like that. But internationally, I don't think that. I don't know. I don't know if I ever could do that. Dating someone from another country is different than dating someone in another country. So I don't know. It depends.
So basically, anywhere in the USA or just those surrounding states
Yeah,
by where you are.
yeah. In the United States, if I was to date
Within
someone that
the
lived in a different country than me, we would have had to start dating here in the United States, and then they
All
just
right.
decided to relocate.
All right. So, do you have a race preference?
No. Mhm.
Not really. Okay, so the last thing is, how do you want eligible and intentional daters to reach out to you? Do you want to give your social media handles? And if so, what platforms?
Could you repeat that question?
Yes, how do you want daters to reach out to you? Via your social media, and if so, what are the handles and the platforms?
So I'm always going to give my social media out. My social media is the rich neighbor. That's Instagram, TikTok, Facebook. My business page is the rich neighbors with an S. It's the rich neighbor underscore. Um, business is the rich neighbors underscore. I also like as again, I work a lot. So I've always been the person that people meet me in transition. I'm kind of everywhere and nowhere at the same time. But yeah, if I was, I don't know how I feel about people reaching out on social media, but yeah, those are my tags, and that would be the way.
Okay, so what is your preferred method? You can either have them reach out to you on your social media, you can have them reach out to me, and I get you the information. How do you want people to reach out to you
I've
without getting
always met
personal information?
I've always met people in person. Um, so everything has been new.
Hmm.
People reaching out to me, people making connections on social media. That's the way that the world is going. So that's just what it is.
Right, but hi, but you got to realize you're talking to people everywhere. So everybody is not going to be in Atlanta. So they
Mm.
need to be able to contact you so y'all can see if y'all even like each other to even be able to meet up in person. So how do you prefer that they connect with you?
Through social media.
In social media? Okay. Mhm. All right,
Mhm.
good deal. And that is the rich neighbor, and I guess your business account is the rich neighbor underscore.
No,
And that's on
the
IG,
rich neighbor
Facebook, and
underscore is my yeah. The
okay.
rich neighbor underscore is my personal page.
Is your personal page. Okay.
Yep. And the
All
rich
right. Good.
neighbors with an S is my business page.
Okay. All right. Good deal. So is there one last thing you want to tell the daters out there?
Um, good luck.
That doesn't sound very optimistic, Christopher.
Um,
Ah.
yeah, I don't know. I don't know what I would say. That I hope everybody deserves somebody. Um, the hope is that
Well, not just
everybody finds them.
anybody,
I
a
definitely
good
respect
person in a happy and healthy relationship. That's
definitely a good
all.
person, and I
Yes, we're
definitely
not just
respect
not just
everything that you're,
anybody.
and I definitely respect everything that you're doing with your show.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
I
I definitely
definitely,
appreciate it. It's my passion. I just want people to be in happy and healthy relationships. That is the goal.
yes, ma'am.
All righty. All right, well then, Christopher, it's been great. Thank you for the interview. I am going to drop you down, but do not hang up because I have to ask you some questions about your profile. Okay.
All right,
All right.
all right. Have a good one.
Okay, you as well. All right, Bella Beauties and Bella Beaus, that's a wrap. Another great interview on the books. Until next time, take care. God bless and talk to you later. Bye bye.